Got here, and it's time to talk about Sentence to be a Hero, or Lord of the Rings Helm's Deep, because this episode really made me think of Lord of the Rings. I wouldn't be surprised if it was at least inspired by that fight there, and I'm sure everybody knows Lord of the Rings. If you don't, what are you doing? But also some nice pieces of information and build up for things to come, and if they can really pull this plan off, because it's getting more and more complicated, to say the least. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, the episode starts with Tsav kind of in the same position that we saw Venetim when they first got their sentence here, and Tsav is a great character, like, don't get me wrong. He's completely unhinged, like the dude will kill you just because he's bored. That's how he views humans, just like a rock, kicking a rock. The only thing that he cares about is people that he admires, and it seems Xylo is one of those people, and that's why he kind of listens to Xylo, even if they butt heads quite a lot. He listens to him, calls him big brother here, but we see that in that interrogation there, just for him, kills aren't really hard, regardless of the difficulty. He just does it by feel, intuition, depending how it feels here. And then we have the same creepy dude that sentenced Venetim and saying death is too good for you. And here I really like the shift. Like, so far Tsav, yeah, I'm not scared, I don't care, this doesn't bother me, whatever, kill me, do. I'm scared, but it's not really scared, but it's not really important. What can I do in that situation? All of that bravado goes away, or his change in attitude instantly when death is too good for you, you're sentenced to be a hero. Here where we see him actually showing some genuine fear, and I like that from Tsav here. He's completely unhinged, he's a blabbermouth, he talks a lot, he's gonna kill you anytime, but being sentenced to be a hero finally gets to him. So hopefully we find out more about this process of becoming a hero, the repair shop, and so many questions. How was this punishment made up? How did it came to be? I have a lot of questions. That's probably for world building and later on here. Then we pick up with the group. I like how Tsav is just like non-stop talking machine. Nobody liked they wanted to shut him up. He's just pure chaos. But also the cute moment on Xylo was talking and Kivia was near him. She realized that and quickly just moved away a bit. Also see the plans with the fortress to get the demon lord. Venetim recruited some prisoners here for the fortress plan, and his vision is like really good. He could zoom in there. He's the sniper. He actually is able to snipe with this spear-like weapon that Norgel also made here, and he's very good with it. Even Xylo saying he never seen him miss, so he's kind of like the sniper rogue type in a way there, and he was just having fun, just blasting, and Dota was the scouter, like giving point, hey, there's one there, like actual snipers, how you do it in real life also here. But after this, I'm really liking Xylo's motivation to prove that Teorita is useful. Here we get a bit of glimpse into Kivia. Apparently she's not a noble. Even Xylo was surprised that a commoner could get this high rank as her, but she reveals that her uncle is a high priest, so that's probably gonna play an interesting role moving forward. And we actually get to meet another goddess with Horde seemed like a big asshole, that uptight type of character here from first impression. Of course, he doesn't care, he doesn't see Xylo, even admonishes him, tells his goddess Pelmeri, stay away from him, he's the goddess killer. She seems very not having emotions, like kind of very different personalities with the goddesses, which I like that, different designs here, but they all share that need for praise, and she actually gets her head pat here, Pelmeri, so it's gonna be interesting seeing more of the goddesses here. She's the 9th one, we don't fully know her power, we haven't seen her fight anything, this was her first appearance here, but we have to focus on the fortress being full of that poison, the explosives to kill Iblis, and Tsav was about to kill one of those captains, the knights there, and Xylo stops him. He was just bored, he just wanted to pass time, because that's how he did it. He started the fight just to be able to kill that guy, how he views humans, just kicking a rock out of boredom, killing somebody, why not? He's completely unhinged. And I like him. Just goes to show that while Xylo might be the exception, or some have had smaller crimes or things like that, or how we saw it, Venetim being put into that position because he discovered something he shouldn't there. Dota probably stole so many things. We also have, towards the end of the episode, we're gonna get into that, some of them actually kind of deserve this punishment. I can see somebody like Tsav being a good member of society in a way, if somebody wouldn't control him here. But they get interrupted by Teorita showing up. She was so cute. The tantrum she had there for not getting her head pats, being jealous of the other goddesses getting theirs. Xylo just indifferent. Zero fucks given. He wasn't entertaining the idea. She was so cute, and Kivya trying to console her with berries, with everything, kind of implying they spent too much time together when they were scouting Kivya and Xylo. That was such a cute moment, but also made me think you have different tantrums like we had with Teorita here, and the tantrum that Frieren had that we saw in last episode. Fun. So Teorita needs to be protected even more, and we need that head pat. Xylo, I swear to God, if you don't give her that head pat, I swear, man, I swear. But here we also have them finally getting on track to prepare with the fortress, and I was happy and surprised to see the miners actually coming in to help with the fortress, even though it's very dangerous. Xylo at first wanted to dismiss them, didn't want to hear everything, not to put them in danger, but then my king, Norgel, shows up, welcomes them, gives another rousing speech. That guy could get anybody, give him the motivation. He would be a great character in Kingdom, probably, with the speeches here. He's gonna use them, but mainly to work on the seals and things like that, with the magic, like builders a bit. They're still gonna be in danger, they're still gonna be in the walls, but yeah, we have that here. Tatsuya is also gonna be in the sewers. Tsav gonna hold the backline. Dota is doing something else. We find later in the episode to gather some money for mercenaries. They need more people here, and Xylo is gonna be the one that goes on the attack to draw the demon out and enable the trap that they have also inlaid, not just the fortress here. So that's gonna be interesting. They also have the prisoners that Venetim recruited. They're kind of assholes. They get a bit into it with Xylo, and here is where we see Tsav, how obsessive he's a bit with Xylo. He actually, and I really liked this, how his mind works. He's very practical and logical. Like the big prisoner that got in front of Xylo's face, instead of Tsav killing that guy or wounding that guy, he just wounds the weakest prisoner, just cuts off his arm there. Hey, stop doing this, just to put them in their place, instead of killing him, and says, and that guy, the big guy, was just, wait, why didn't he shoot me? So I was like, yeah, you're stronger, you can work more, you can do more. He's just weak, it doesn't matter, so get your ass into work. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but you see the practicality, even though it's fucked up, unhinged practicality was still there, even though Xylo admonished him, actually pushed him into the wall there, don't do it ever again, and he understood why he did what he did, but still, so those prisoners were like, oh, okay, and they got in line thanks to that, but yeah, you have to keep him under control, otherwise it's gonna be pure chaos here. But then we have a message. Venetim calls Xylo, telling him he has a message, and he refuses instantly when he sees the from who it is. Penchi, Musty Bolt. There's some history there. Even though they wanted to lend them soldiers, they really could have used soldiers. They're undermanned, to say the least, like 2,000 soldiers. He more than refuses, like he cuts the conversation. So I'm really curious what fully the history is there and what happened with that Xylo flat out refused that. So something to keep in mind. Two of the other heroes that Xylo wanted, Jace refused to come, saying, go die, I don't want to be involved. And the Rhino ignored them. But what I found interesting here was the small nugget of information that Venetim said. Rhino volunteered to be a hero. So who the fuck volunteers to be a hero? You have to be more unhinged than even Tsav, and we know from this episode how unhinged Tsav is. Like, what the fuck is Ryan? Like, I'm bored, I'm just gonna go take the worst job punishment in the world, because why? Why would you take this upon yourself? Is it guilt? Are you just fucked up in the head? I don't know what motivation somebody could have to put themselves into this position. voluntarily. Imagine that. So I'm really excited to see Rhino, what exactly he had in his mind here. But also liked the conversation towards the end here when Venetim kind of proposed a thought experiment for Silo. Hey, what if there are humans working with demons and infiltrating and the articles, everything? And Xylo actually knew about them. He said, oh, I know about the articles and conspiracies that you did, so you obviously made those up, so there's no way they're real. So kind of answering a bit my questions from the Venetim episodes back then. But he kind of puts it very, very well, Venetim. Okay, let me ask you this. If it were real, wouldn't this explain this piece of shit plan? I'm paraphrasing a bit, so yeah, kinda. Having this plan doesn't really bode well for anything. Even if they succeed, it's still an insane plan here, but let alone putting so many in dangers, the fortress and so on. So yes, this plan is kind of interesting here, but we're gonna have to see. I'm curious if they're gonna delve deeper into this and Xylo actually realizes, and it's probably connected to his own revenge story here, so all of them and Venetim and so on. So I'm liking the slow build up in the episodes that we have right now. But before that, they still have to deal with the current situations. The demons finally start coming, and I liked Norgel on the wall there, shooting everything, the barricades and so on, and it really reminded me of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings. There, everybody fighting, even the knights. Kivia was there, but then the episode ends with kind of giving more credibility to Venetim. Humans are involved, and they actually coming and start shooting the barricades and so on, and kind of destroy those defenses a bit and make things even worse, considering this plan was already on a thin line. Now having this other faction being involved, and they break in, and it really reminded me of breaking in into the sewers, the Helm's Deep there to explode the entrance. So yeah, I can't wait for next episode. I'm curious how this one is gonna go, but I'm curious, what do you guys think so far of the series? Am I the only one that is thinking of Lord of the Rings with this episode here? And what do you think Rhino? What the fuck would motivate somebody to put themselves into this position? So please don't go into spoilers. If you read the source material, don't answer if you already know the answer, but anime only. And if you read the source material, let me know what you think about the adaptation so far. But I'm getting more and more into the series. I'm curious and where it's going to go and how we're going to get there with the revenge, everything that is being built up with each episode. Like, we have the main goals in each episode, the fortress now, the mine and so on, but slowly we're getting into the main plot also. And I'm liking the dynamics with the relationships. Teorita needs to be protected. Kivia is kind of opening her mind a bit more. We get to meet more and more heroes, Tsav being the unhinged one. I'm very excited to meet the other two that have been mentioned here. And I like how all of them were worried about Norgel being on the front line. Like, he's kind of the linchpin that is holding their unit together. He's probably the most important part. Xylo might be the commander or so, the frontliner, but without Norgel, they're really fucked, to say the least. And Tsav commenting on Venetim, if you can't convince somebody, referring to Norgel, what do you even offer? That one cut deep. So yeah, fun episode, but thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Sentence to be a Hero. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.